After enrolling for any of our GMAT courses, this is the first video you must watch. The first step I recommend is to press F11 so that you are taken full screen and you are not distracted by anything else happening on your computer. When you log in, you will be taken to the Student Center. This page is quite the home of the software. Here you can find the details of your subscriptions and various options within the software. For a comprehensive preparation, it is strongly recommended that you opt for the full access. For example, the user I am logged in with here has complete access, and you see that all the menu options here are duly activated. There is an elaborate top menu and a few buttons on the bottom right. You can use the stickies for taking notes while studying on this platform. You can add a note, you can put a suitable title and save the sticky. All the saved stickies would go under this tab, Stickies. You can also use the stickies for saving such reminders. You can use different colors for different types of notes. Save similar stickies together, move them around. You can play around and do a lot with this option. Back to the Student Center, the SOS button can be used for reporting any technical problem that you may be facing while studying on this platform. For example, if you're not able to access the full-length tests, you can leave such a message and we would look into the issue and revert. The maximum turnaround time is 2 business days. However, we generally respond much sooner. Now let's talk about how to go about using these resources on this portal. See, the resources on this portal have been arranged in such a way that you must navigate from left to right and top to bottom. So this tab, Progress here, will give you a macro view of the progress that you have made on your preparation so far. The next tab here, Analytics, would give you a graphical insight into your performance in the last few mocks and exercises. Then the next tab, remember, left to right and top to bottom approach. So the next tab, Tips and Study Plans, would give you a 14 weeks comprehensive study plan and a 6 weeks crash course study plan. You can choose one for yourself. Here you will find a study plan as well as 8 main prep tips that can be the difference. I strongly recommend that you take a print of these 8 prep tips as well as a print of the study plan that you have chosen for yourself, the 14 weeks plan or the 6 weeks plan. Please place the printout of your study plan and the 8 prep tips against your study table so that these 2 main resources are always in front of your eyes as you prepare. The next tab here is GMAT Facts. A bunch of just 4 videos here will give you a strong grounding in this very interesting exam and bust all the myths surrounding it. I understand that many of you may have already taken the test and you would know a great deal about the exam. However, I still suggest that you complete these resources. It will take you only 30 minutes or so, and you will definitely end up learning a few new things about the test. And something very important, as you keep on studying these resources, please keep on changing the status here. Okay, so when you complete something once, please mark it as completed. When you revise something that you have already done, then you must mark it as revised. Similarly, when you revise something twice, you should mark it as revised twice. Okay, and you will see that the status of these topics will keep on changing. Remember, 1 check mark means completed, 2 check marks mean completed and revised, and 3 check marks mean completed and revised twice. By the end of the course, just before your GMAT, your status across all the topics, exercises, and tests should be 3 check marks, which mean completed and revised twice. Next, get started with phase 1 of the preparation. You have phase 1 quant, critical reasoning, reading comprehension, and data insights here. Please refer them in whatever order you like. However, please do not wait for one topic to get over for the other to start. Work on all the 4 topics simultaneously. Of course, you have a study plan to help you. The idea of phase 1 of the preparation is to understand the concepts. Remember, this approach, phase 1 understand, phase 2 practice, and phase 3 master, has been at the core of our pedagogy right since 2008, and it has helped thousands and thousands of students score high on the GMAT. This is where your core GMAT preparation begins. This is very interesting. What we have done is we have broken the GMAT into 100 small pieces. For every small piece, a small topic, you watch a short conceptual video. Always go full screen as you watch a conceptual video. You will see that the concepts have been taught in a very experiential manner by taking a lot of GMAT-like examples. So watch the video completely, solve all the examples within the video, and as you complete a training video, come back and take the relevant exercise. We have worked hard to ensure that you practice every question on a truly GMAT-like interface, and all the functionalities here are exactly how they work on the real GMAT. So solve the exercise carefully. Here in the timer, we have done something very interesting. It is that every time you take more time on a question than what you are supposed to take on average on the GMAT, the timer would turn red. The idea is that we want you to intuitively know how much time you have on the GMAT per question. Over the course of your entire preparation, you will be solving thousands and thousands of questions on these exercises, and the timer turning red every time you take longer would eventually help you in your time management on the real test. This functionality is only in the exercises and not in the practice tests. So now you see it's about to be more than 2 minutes on this question, and the timer will turn red anytime now. Now you see the timer turned red. We have taken many such small measures to improve your learning experience, and I hope that you have a wonderful time studying on this platform. So when you complete an exercise, you will be taken to this screen where you can take a close look at your performance along with basic analytics around the same. You can of course review each question by clicking on the question number, and you can mark questions as guess or questions for review. All such flagged questions are saved under flags for your future reference. And now when you come back to the relevant stage page, you will see that this topic has been marked as completed and the relevant statistics is visible now. Here you have the option of repeating all questions, reviewing all questions, repeating incorrect attempts, or reviewing incorrect attempts. Repeating incorrect attempts is something that is strongly recommended until you get all 100% questions on an exercise correct. When you repeat an exercise, you will see that all the numbers here would be updated and the number of attempts would become 2. So that way, complete all the topics on a page. Remember, left to right and top to bottom approach. Things have been arranged in such a way that when you follow left to right, top to bottom approach, your preparation progresses in an organized way. Complete all of phase 1 study material accordingly. And a very important word of caution here, please do not expect immediate results. In my experience of having trained thousands and thousands of GMAT aspirants, I see that sometimes the students are impatient and the emphasis is on getting scores on the full-length tests. My suggestion is that emphasize on learning. Whatever skills you get to develop through your GMAT preparation today and the application process tomorrow is going to come in handy in your time at a B school and in your management career tomorrow. Focus on enhancing your skills, the scores will follow. Phase 1 is the most important part of your preparation. Watching the conceptual videos repeatedly, solving the relevant exercises, repeating the exercises, particularly repeating the incorrect attempts, learning from your own mistakes, understanding why you got wrong, what made you eliminate the correct answer choice and what made you select an incorrect answer choice. Such analysis and learning are what would eventually, over a period of many weeks, would get you results. Something very important here is the phase 1 reading comprehension preparation. A very common mistake that GMAT aspirants commit is that they do not practice enough reading comprehensions. An argument I get to hear is that there isn't much you can study for reading comprehension. Yes, there isn't much to study, but there is a lot to practice. Remember, ability to read and comprehend data fast is quite at the core of giving the GMAT, and being good at reading comprehensions also helps you in all the other question types. We have a very simple 3-step approach here. In the first video here, you will get an overview of reading comprehensions on the GMAT. In the second video, you would be taught an effective strategy for solving any reading comprehension on the test, and then you will find me applying the same strategy on a live GMAT like RC, and then application of the same strategy on one more reading comprehension. After this, you will have exercises to navigate. While on the GMAT, you will get only 3 to 4 questions per comprehension. Here, we have deliberately kept a high number of questions per comprehension so that you are trained on various questions that can be asked on the same passage. So please make sure to start practicing right from the first week of your preparation and complete all the 4 pages under phase 1 in an organized manner. Cont, CR, RC, and DI. And that brings me to explain what a typical week in your GMAT prep should be like. Monday to Friday should be about concept building and practice. Over these 5 days, you should be watching the conceptual videos, studying your concept books, solving exercises. Saturday is where you must consolidate your prep. You must repeat your incorrect attempts over the week, revise conceptual material for the topics that you may be struggling with. You must revise your stickies and questions flagged for review. And Sunday is when you must take a full-length test along with thorough analysis of the same. So throughout phase 1 of the preparation, make full use of this approach of watching a conceptual video, watching application of the concepts explained on a bunch of live GMAT-like questions, taking a relevant exercise, watching your performance, and then repeating the incorrect attempts. Once phase 1 is duly completed, move to phase 2 of the preparation. Here you will see that in Cont as well as DI, the exercises have been arranged in a topic-wise manner, because in Cont and DI, you can look at a question and understand the topic that the question is based on. However, in critical reasoning or reading comprehensions, you need to be able to solve a question without fully knowing the underlying topic. And that's why in phase 2 CR and RC, the exercises are not segregated in a topic-wise manner. The idea of phase 2 practice is to apply all the concepts learnt in phase 1 of the preparation and thereby develop a fine balance between speed and accuracy. While in phase 1, we suggest that you focus only on accuracy and don't worry about speed, in phase 2, we motivate you to aim for a balance between speed and accuracy. Once again, analyze your mistakes carefully and reattempt questions that you got wrong. That is where maximum learning comes from. Once phase 2 is over, that is where you start with phase 3 of the preparation. Phase 3 master is about getting ready for the GMAT. Here in Cont, CR, RC as well as DI, the exercises contain only very high difficulty level problems. Duly solving these questions and duly analyzing your mistakes will really help you get ready for the real GMAT. The next tab here is the 15 full-length tests. Please make sure to take one full-length test per week. And during the last 2 to 4 weeks before your GMAT, you can increase the frequency of the tests to 2 or even 3 tests per week. Please pay due attention to all the analytics that you see on this page, and after every mock, please make sure to review your performance thoroughly. Once again, remember the left to right, top to bottom approach. To analyze your performance on a test, please go through all the data carefully from left to right and top to bottom. You get some very interesting insights here, right from time management to difficulty analysis. Please make good use of all the data for your advantage. The next tab here is Extras. This tab includes some of the non-mainstream topics. We expect to add more topics on this tab in the times to come. The next tab here is my favorite. This is called the GMAT Shorts. Here you will find hundreds of short videos for revising all the important GMAT concepts. A word of caution here, please do not make GMAT Shorts the main course of your preparation. Use this very rich resource to supplement your preparation. Watch a video when you are waiting for a cab, standing in a queue, maybe watch a few videos before going to bed. But please understand, the main course of the preparation are the three phases here, phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. GMAT Shorts are going to be your great friend for ensuring that the key concepts are not forgotten. We covered stickies and flags earlier. The next tab here is final tips before the GMAT. Here you have just one video that you must watch around 2 to 3 weeks before your real GMAT. This will help you in attaining the correct mindset and the correct tempo before your GMAT. Next, you have the app help videos here. As you would be aware, we are also a very prominent admission consulting firm. Through the 40-odd videos under app help and interview preparation, we have tried to give you a strong grounding for your application process. You can watch these videos alongside your GMAT prep or maybe once you have achieved a score. So with this, I have covered all the tabs in here. I hope this slightly long video helps you in making good use of this very powerful tool. The portal has already helped thousands and thousands of students worldwide, and I hope that you will be another success story. We wish you all the best for your preparation. Thanks for watching.